A story of kindness, regret, and the miracle that changed everything. The city was loud that evening, cars rushing, people shouting, lights flashing against the glass walls of skyscrapers. But for 12-year-old Liam, the noise didn't matter. He sat at the corner of Willow Street, hugging his thin knees to his chest, trying to stay warm under a torn blanket. His stomach growled painfully. It had been 2 days since he'd eaten anything real. Still, he didn't beg loudly like the others. He just held a small cardboard sign. "I'm hungry." Anything helps. Most people walked past without seeing him. Some looked at him with pity. Others looked with annoyance. No one stopped, until a black Rolls-Royce Phantom pulled up beside the sidewalk, so shiny it reflected the street. Lights like a mirror. The door opened, and out stepped Alexander Grant, one of the richest men in the country. A billionaire, known for his empire, known for his power, known for his cruelty. Alexander never walked anywhere. He didn't have to. The world came to him. But tonight he was angry, furious, after losing a multi-million-dollar deal. He slammed the car door and began walking toward his office building, not bothering to glance around, until he heard a small, trembling voice. "Sir, please, can you help me?" Alexander stopped. Standing behind him was Liam, holding out his cardboard sign with shaking hands. For a moment, Alexander stared at him coldly. Expensive suit, polished shoes, diamond watch gleaming under the streetlight, and at his feet a starving, barefoot child with eyes full of fear and hope. "What do you want?" Alexander snapped. "Just something to eat," the boy said. "I'm really hungry." Alexander scoffed. "Go find a job." The boy's eyes dropped to the ground. "I'm 12, sir." Alexander shook his head and started walking again. "Not my problem." But Liam quickly followed him, limping slightly. "Please," he whispered. "Even bread. Anything." Alexander turned sharply. "Listen, boy. Life is hard. Harder for some than others. Begging won't help you. Work will." "I tried," Liam said quietly. "Nobody would hire me. Because I'm homeless." The billionaire rolled his eyes. "Not my concern." With that, he walked into his building. The glass doors closed behind him. The guards pushed the boy away. 3 hours later, Alexander left the building again. He expected the boy to be gone, but Liam was still there, curled up on the ground, shivering violently in the cold night air. Something in Alexander's chest shifted, not enough to make him kind, but enough to make him curious. "Why are you still here?" he asked. Liam looked up weakly. "I don't have anywhere else to go." Alexander glanced around. The streets were empty now. The boy looked like he would collapse any second. The billionaire sighed deeply, the kind of sigh that comes from annoyance, not compassion. "Come," he said finally. "I'll buy you something to eat." Liam's eyes widened. "Really?" "Only food. Nothing more," Alexander said sharply. "Don't expect charity." The boy stood quickly, nearly tripping from weakness. Alexander grabbed his arm to steady him, surprised by how light he was, like lifting a bundle of feathers. They walked into a nearby diner. People stared. It wasn't every day that a billionaire walked in with a homeless child. But Alexander ignored the looks and ordered the most expensive meal on the menu. When the food arrived, Liam ate like he hadn't eaten in weeks, because he hadn't. Tears fell from his eyes as he chewed. "You're eating as if it's your last meal," Alexander muttered. Liam's voice cracked. "It might be." That sentence hit Alexander harder than he expected. Without thinking, he asked, "Where are your parents?" Liam paused. His fork stopped mid-air. "My mom died 2 years ago," he said quietly. "My dad left when I was 6. "And the government shelters?" "Full," Liam said. "Always full." Alexander didn't respond. He didn't know how to respond. He had built skyscrapers, destroyed competitors, controlled industries. But he had no idea how to deal with a boy who had lost everything. As they stepped out of the diner, Liam looked up at him. "Thank you, sir. You saved me tonight." Alexander turned away quickly, so the boy wouldn't see the emotion in his eyes. "It was just food. Don't read into it." But Liam smiled anyway, a smile filled with gratitude, not expectation. "Still," he said softly, "you showed me kindness. I won't forget it." The next morning, Alexander returned to his office earlier than usual. To his shock, he found Liam sleeping on the steps of the building, curled up, clutching the empty food container from last night. The billionaire stared at him for a long moment. Something inside him, something he thought had died years ago, began to awaken. He walked over and nudged the boy gently. "Why are you here again?" Liam opened his eyes slowly. "I didn't want to sleep in the alley. It's dangerous. Thieves beat me last week." Alexander swallowed hard. "What if I give you some money? Will that help?" Liam shook his head. "I don't want money, sir. I want a chance." "A chance?" "Yes, a chance to be something. To survive, to grow. Somebody to teach me. Anything." Alexander froze. Never in his life had someone asked him for guidance. Only contracts, signatures, investments, but not this, not family. Later that day, Alexander did something he never imagined he would do. He brought the boy into his office, despite the stares of his employees. He gave him a warm shower, new clothes, food, a place to rest. The boy cried when he saw the soft, clean bed. "Why are you helping me?" he asked, voice trembling. Alexander hesitated. Because for the first time, he felt human. Because for the first time, he saw himself in someone else. Because long ago, before he became a billionaire, he too was a hungry child who begged on the streets until someone helped him. "I'm helping you," he finally said, "because someone once helped me. And it changed my life." Liam wiped his tears. "I won't waste it, sir. I promise." "I know," Alexander whispered. And he did. Weeks passed. Liam began working small tasks around Alexander's company, organizing papers, cleaning desks, learning computer skills. He learned fast, faster than anyone expected. Employees grew attached to him. Even Alexander's cold heart softened. One evening, while reviewing documents, Alexander asked, "What do you want to be when you grow up, Liam?" Liam grinned. "I want to be like you." Alexander laughed, a deep, genuine laugh he hadn't felt in years. "And what does that mean?" "Strong," the boy said. "Successful. Someone who helps people who are invisible." Alexander felt a lump in his throat. Invisible. That's what Liam had been until now. 2 years later, the city saw something it never expected. Alexander Grant, billionaire, announced a new foundation, the Liam Project, a program designed to rescue homeless children, educate them, and give them a future. Beside him, standing proudly in a fitted suit, was Liam, no longer the starving child on the sidewalk, but a bright, confident young teen. Reporters snapped pictures. One asked, "Mr. Grant, why are you doing this?" Alexander looked at Liam, smiling softly. "Because one child changed my life," he said. "And I plan to change many more." Liam squeezed his hand and whispered, "Thank you for seeing me." Alexander whispered back, "No, Liam, thank you for saving me." And from that day on, they were no longer billionaire and beggar. They were family. If you like this story, don't forget to give a like, share it, and subscribe to our channel for more beautiful stories.